Welcome back to That Handicapping Show. I'm Claire Novak, joined once again by LaMarra, and today we're going to take a look at a couple of different races, one that has a very clear-cut favorite and the other not so much. From Oaklawn Park, we're going to talk about the Martha Washington $100,000 for 3-year-old fillies, which features the 3-year-old debut of 2-year-old champion filly Take Charge Brandy. So that'll be an interesting race. And then we'll go take a look at the Sam F. Davis from Tampa Bay, and that race is a 3-year-old prep leading to the Tampa Bay Derby. It doesn't have any points, but if you run in this race and run well and go to the Tampa Bay Derby, you can earn 50 there. So let's go to Oaklawn Park, the Martha Washington, $100,000 a mile. And Tom, can anybody beat Take Charge Brandy?
You've asked this question before.
I always ask it every single time she runs. Actually, the past 3 times.
Actually, I think you asked that question in the Starlets, and I did think that one horse in there could beat her, and she beat that horse by a half length. The other one finished second. I kind of see that kind of scenario here again. The Martha Washington is 1 mile, around 2 turns. However, they use the short stretch at Oaklawn Park. For the 1 mile races, she did draw post 6 in a 7-horse field. You know, that isn't a big deal. There is some stretch out speed in here, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. She did rate 2 starts back in the Princess at Delta Downs, and she took the lead and won that race.
Which is also a mile.
Rather
She's cutting
authoritatively.
back, yeah.
You know, I see no reason to think that that a horse in here will jump up and dominate her. But yeah, I could see a horse, you know, squeezing one out on the wire. You know, so. All
right, well, a couple of interesting contenders in here. One would be the East Coast shipper, High Dollar Woman, and she's very aptly named. She was a $675,000 purchase, and she races for Tony Dutrow. She comes in here after winning at Parks at the distance. She won an allowance there by 3 lengths, wire to wire, so she does have some early speed and has done well at the distance, and I'm definitely going to take a look at her.
Yeah, she broke her maiden at Saratoga, rather impressively actually, 111-3 for 6 furlongs, and she's been working on the track methodically at Oaklawn Park, which is usually the case for horses trained by Dutrow. So, you know, well drawn. Rocco is back riding. Joe Rocco Jr. was aboard for her in the 1 mile win at Parks. And yeah, I'm using her, High Dollar Woman, and then the 1-2 finishers in an allowance race at Oaklawn, on January 17th, Indian Annie and Sweet Corinna. I'm going to use them top and bottom with Take Charge Brandy because I do believe, you know, with her typical race, Take Charge Brandy would be extremely hard to beat. New jockey in John Court, but I don't know if that's really going to make much of a difference.
Well, and you and I both interested in Indian Annie. One thing that I found, you know, about her history, she was originally started by Steve Asmussen, and they lost her on the claim. They went back and got her again, claimed her back, and then they ran her in this allowance race that you mentioned, January 17th, another mile race. She won by 4 3/4 lengths. And so I am actually, she's the other one that I was taking a look at too, because she does seem to have, you know, speed-wise and going off of her last race, does seem to look like if anybody could compete out of this group, she could.
Well, yeah, and having a win at the distance on the racetrack, I think is a major plus. Sweet Corinna was right with her, like right off the far turn in that race, dropped back a little bit, finished almost 5 lengths behind Indian Annie, but Sweet Corinna really hadn't raced since early November because in her previous race at Woodbine, she threw the jockey at the start, and so obviously really didn't race. But she seemed to like the Oaklawn surface. She's also trained well there too. So, like I said, Take Charge Brandy over High Dollar Woman, Indian Annie, Sweet Corinna, and flip it too because, you know, as strong as I think Take Charge Brandy is, this could be the race. So
All right, well, let's move on to Tampa before we run out of time, and we're going to talk about the mile and a 16th Sam F. Davis, $250,000 for 3-year-olds. And my horse in here is G5, but I wish it was named G6. Then I could sing like a G6, brother. Like a G6. Okay. So anyway.
Why do you really like the horse?
Well, okay, first of all, it's a really fascinating race with a lot of different things going on here. Great betting race. You've got Catalina Red coming out of the Pasco Stakes, which he won in track record time for the 7 furlong distance, and he previously won the inaugural stakes in stakes record time. So he's an interesting horse to look at the stretch out. You've got some horses coming in here. Crittenden, who was on the turf last time, Divining Rod, who I know you like. There's just a lot of different things going on with some different horses. So G5, the reason I like him is because he ran decently in his start January 4th, which was a mile optional claimer. But I think he looks like a horse who's going to improve with the distance. He bobbled at the start, and he was 5 wide on the turn in that race. Still closed well to get up for third. I think he's a horse who might close into some early speed here and get the job done. You're going to look at the other Todd Pletcher, yes. But before you do that, I also am very interested in My Johnny Be Good. You and I were talking before the show. They ran this horse 7 furlongs at Arlington Park on the synthetic surface there. He won nicely, came back and ran him at Keeneland on the dirt in the fall, and he was second. Then on December 28th, cutting back in distance, he won like a freak, won by 14 lengths going 6 furlongs and almost in a record time. So I think he's an interesting horse. I want to see how he does. He's a son of Colonel John.
Yeah, this race has a crapshoot feel to me. It's a full field, and you have some stretch out horses, and you have some speed horses, I really can't, I do like Royal Sun, the other Pletcher horse. John Velasquez is named to ride from Post 2. Was placed first in a 1-turn mile maiden special at Gulfstream Park last time. And really, 137-1 is actually slower than a couple of these other horses had raced the 1 mile at Gulfstream Park. But I still like the horse. Ran second, beaten 10 lengths behind El Kabir in a Saratoga maiden race. With all that's happening in this race, I'm just going to use Royal Sun on top of, what have I got here? 5 other horses. Catalina Red, Divining Rod, G5, Coomer, Ocean Knight, all whom I think have some room to improve. And of course, with Pletcher training Royal Sun, I would not leave the other Pletcher off my ticket.
Coomer, an interesting horse, won by 6 1/4 lengths at Churchill on November 26th, but comes back for the first time since then, so that'll be interesting. And another one who has done very well at this distance, both past 2 starts, Bears Personality, who comes in from Canada. He's going to try dirt for the first time. So it's just so much crazy stuff going on in here. It'll be really interesting to see who comes out on top and heads down the road to the Tampa Bay Derby. We've got a lot of coverage coming up this weekend. Check out bloodhorse.com for recaps and more information. And as always, we thank Briss for the PPs. And thank you for watching that handicapping show.